Hey YouTube, and welcome back to another video. In the last video, we went over the APA or SDK, basically the libraries that power Motion Canvas. The original idea was to go through each one of them individually, but there's a lot and it gets tiring. But if you want to, let's say, know more about, let's say, variables, you can click here, and everything you need to know about variables, such as the get, you have a name of your variable, and the initial value. You can watch the advanced section or the component section, one of the two, I forget which one at this point, has a thing on variables. I believe it's the advanced section. In this one, we're going to go over the blog. So if I go back to main menu, we just finished APIs in the last video, and now we're going to go over the blog. And for blog, I'm just going to exit out of Motion Canvas entirely, and I'm just going to scroll back to the very beginning, older entries. So there's multiple pages. Okay, so the blog is, hey, Motion Canvas has been updated. Here are what you need to know in order to update, or some cool features, or this is where Jacob, the creator of Motion Canvas, actually posts things to say, hey, you need to know this, or you should know this. So we have the initial document about, hey, Motion Canvas has now been open sourced. And then we have the next update, Motion Canvas 2.1, where it shows you we have various features and bug fixes. 2.2. It's pretty cool actually to see this and go through it. I would recommend it because you can see how Motion Canvas has changed over the years. Motion Canvas came out kind of first quarter of last year, with it being 2024 right now. When I started my Motion Canvas videos, it was actually, I think, around August or October of 23. So a lot has changed since then. If you're hearing noise in the background, I have a dog next to me now. And you can see in 2.3, the text that we just talked about in a previous video has been added. Code blocks, themes, code blocks has been removed. But that's page 3. And you go down here, 2.4 update. And then 2.5, 2.6, and now we have 3.0 with the migration guide. It's a lot of changes that has happened. And the reason for this is a new playback architecture. Playback planning is now stored in meta files. Preview and rendering settings are configured separately. The animation range is stored using seconds instead of frames. You can also adjust audio offset by holding Shift. The reason for this playback architecture, and I only know this by going through the issues in GitHub, is they wanted to do some new features such as a presentation mode, signaling, custom exporters. We also wanted the ability to use a CLI command to generate these instead of going through the browser. That is a feature that was currently being worked on, and I have plans to discuss that when it's available. It is still not. At least when I'm recording this video, You'll see this a few months later, because that's just how this works. Hopefully by the time you see this video, that those features will be available, and there'll be a video about that. Then 3.1, we had a new presentation mode that lets you present animations live. We've actually talked about this in video 16. And then there's a number of bugs that have been fixed. Hopefully they get to the bugs that we found in these video series. If not, I will have to contact them and say, hey, you got some bugs. New status bar, a bunch of new stuff. New polygon has been added. You can actually see who created the different things, who was in charge of those different edits. You got a new fiddle editor. So if I go here, I can go to source. No. So I go position. No, that's value copy. Yeah, you can see all the different attributes. And then in 3.4, we introduced the new spleen. Got vectors too, more bug fixes. And then we have Bezier has been added April 6th. New video properties. Update available now, links to the GitHub repo release page. So that this gives you a dedicated page about it. Then we have 3.6.0, where it talks to you about cardinal points, where you can position relative node corners and edges together. We talked about this in a very early video and played around with it. And then you can now toggle fiddles between code, editor, and preview. You can try it out in the example above. So this example causes this to happen. And if we go back to page 1, we'll go to, or in May, brand new FFmpeg importer lets you export your animations to video. It's kind of shocking that when it first came out in version 2, FFmpeg was not a thing. Now it is. At least the FFmpeg importer. Then 3.9, there was some more stuff about presenter and render hooks. Then we had new SVG path component. And we have nodes now can be skewed. So sometimes you'll say, hey, this looks kind of cool, and you'll only know about it because of the blog. So just wanted to bring this to everyone's attention. The line that can now be tweened. So if you wanted to have a line, this is how you'd go about doing it. And then we get 3.13. So this is, now we're getting to more recent. I think this is the first one of 2024. So if you are watching this from the original set of videos, I showed the whole how to install motion canvas. I want to say in August or October of last year. I don't quite remember, but this is all new stuff to you now. and I'd recommend to upgrade if you didn't upgrade when I did with one of my previous videos. So then the new scene graph lets you take a peek into its contents of the scene. We just actually saw this recently. And then we have shaders. You can now incorporate. This would be some of the cool things you can do with a shader if you really wanted to. Then we have a new code node, which replaces code block and allows you to do a bunch of fancy animations with code. We'll be using this a lot going forward. All vector operations can now be used with vector signals for more concise code instead of having to do all of this. And we have a brand new camera node. So video 12 was all about the camera. This is only possible because of 3.16 from May 16th. And last but not least, we have 3.17, which from May 16th to August 13th. That was a long time, but there's now more updates. And then the big one for 3.17 is if you go into Motion Canvas. So I think I turned it off. Let me turn Motion Canvas back on. If I can find where I put it. Oh, I forget which folder I had it in. But you could do, where was it? You can do that and then render, and then that will automatically render your code or your animations, and then they have a similar present, which will, when you click it, it'll automatically put it in present mode. Those were two cool enhancements. If you update to Motion Canvas, and we'll actually go to GitHub, you can see 3.17.1 has actually been released. I don't have any sort of blog for that, but we can see a list of issues that people have reported. I should put some of the issues that I've experienced here as well. I'd have to make sure they're repeatable and start a new project and create a small set of repeatable steps to see, hey, are they, is this an issue with how I had my stuff or not? There's also these pull requests that are currently in the works. This can give you an idea of what's to come with Motion Canvas as well. So we have a group of people that are working on programmable sounds. This is the one I'm mostly interested in, the headless rendering feature, which it seems like it's been closed. No, this is a draft. This other one is closed. So there's a branch currently for headless mode, which will open up a lot more possibilities that you can do with Motion Canvas. Separate background by preview rendering, simple motion blur, custom arrowheads, convert examples to animation player, add automatic project creation using the CLI, And yeah, that's everything for Motion Canvas at this point in time. If I go back to their website, right here is a link to their Discord page. Actually, I'll go back to the main page. Right here is a link to their Discord page, and I would highly recommend you joining it so that you can be part of the Motion Canvas community. Maybe you can suggest features that would be really cool. Let's help grow this community. I picked Motion Canvas because I'm a backend engineer. I'm not very good with the UI. React is very new to me. Yes, I have another video series where I'm going through React and Next.js, but when I decided to do Motion Canvas, I didn't know React. So this has kind of helped me enforce my learnings with React, and React has kind of helped me enforce my skills with Motion Canvas. So there are alternatives, but Motion Canvas has a special place in my heart, especially with the UI editor. There's a lot of great features. With any ado, this concludes my video about the blog. Again, if you want to update, look at the blog first, see what changes happen, then update. Do that every single time. And remember, you can do an npm outdated to see a list of all the outdated packages. You can then do an npm update to the latest wanted package. And then you can also just copy and paste the latest version into your package.json file so that you can actually have the latest, because sometimes npm update doesn't give you the actual latest version. So do that. Enjoy. Have fun. In the next video, we're going to go off the books a little bit more and start doing some more custom cool features, some more advanced functionality with Motion Canvas. Video 22, which will be the next one, will be about API calls. And you might be thinking, Andrew, I thought we already went over API. No, this is web API calls, which allows you to get information from different web APIs outside of Motion Canvas, and then use those to power items inside of Motion Canvas based on logic you get from elsewhere. It's really cool. I haven't really seen a tutorial outside of this before, so get ready and let's go have fun. Until then, I will catch you in the next one. Have a great day.